What is going on, everyone? This is episode 8 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. Carl, what's going on today, man?
We have results from the Rose Tower Quarantine Open, which was a nice little fundraising event. I can't quite remember the charity off the top of my head. We've also got a Team of the Week from a new Discord member, Timber, and we have Series 4 rules, and we had our draft.
Yeah, so should be expecting a little more Draft League content coming a little bit sooner. Past that, we also... I'm actually really, really excited about Draft League, man. I think my team is really sweet, and we'll definitely break all that down and break down the draft and how everything went probably towards the end of the episode. So I'm assuming we're going to jump right into Team of the Week like always.
Yep, sounds about right.
Okay. So as you mentioned at the top of the show, this is from one of our newest members of the community. His name is Timber. He submitted a pretty sweet team this week. So I know this is near and dear to your heart. So one of the big deciding factors was this Gudra. So we have Sableye, Conkeldurr, Rotom Wash, Assault Vest Gudra, Excadrill, and Togekiss. So pretty standard Togekiss at this point, it looks like. I'm not seeing anything absurdly weird.
No, looks pretty standard.
Excadrill, the same way. Mold Breaker, Focus Sash, 252 attack and speed, 4 special defense. Rotom Wash, Ally Switch, Dark Pulse, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, so, just a little bit of diversity. Yeah, I mean, again, pretty standard at this point. It's carrying a Life Orb, which is a little less common.
Yeah, the Life Orb's a little bit of a new thing. When you just hit hard and are able to just Ally Switch back and forth to dodge damage, Life Orb lets you just make sure you just hit harder.
Well, past that, if you need, a giant washing machine, like Ally Switch also becomes Max Guard. So Then you can have Max Geyser to mess with the weather. You have Max Lightning to be able to prevent sleep. And then you have Max Darkness to lower special defense.
Yep.
Okay.
That is correct.
See, some of those obscure ones, like Dark, I can't ever remember. Ghost is another one that's just I don't remember what this does.
Notably, those are both the ones that lower defenses. Ghost lowers defense, and then Dark lowers special defense.
Poison Max Ooze is another one that I just rarely ever see.
Buff special attack.
See, these are things that I've done this for so long that I can't remember.
Now
every
to be fair,
time I had to go in and
most
read.
of these are this is still new. We're barely 6 months into this game, so it's trying to remember everything is still hard for some people.
Yeah, it's this is something that kind of came up when I was playing when I was streaming Temtem a lot. Just I've been playing Pokemon for 25 years now. I know the type chart like the back of my hand. Whereas with these new games like Temtem or anytime they add something new, it's just it's gonna take me a minute to figure everything out. So even them just adding new abilities to attacks, I'm just all right, give me half a minute to figure out what I'm doing and figure everything out.
Even the updated speed in the middle of a battle thing is it takes a minute to figure that out because it's you've been playing so long where speed doesn't update until the end, and instead now I hit Tailwind, oh, now my kind of slow Pokemon is faster than your fastest Pokemon, and I get to hit you.
Mm-hmm. Which, that's one that I caught on to very early. It's just all right, Tailwind is absurd this generation.
Yeah.
I am going way over the top of everybody.
That also in that same bracket is Max Airstream. Having a flying type move on your Pokemon is actually super important. So rounding out this team a little bit more, we have Flame Orb, Guts, Conkeldurr, Mach Punch, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Protect, pretty standard as well. The one thing I'm not happy about, I know it's Flame Orb, Guts, The Ice Punch is just you're already hitting really, really hard. Just run the close combat at that point.
That
over
leaves
the Ice
you
Punch.
really weak to Dragapult, though.
You are going to be really weak to Dragapult anyway, because Dragapult is going to make sure it outspeeds you, and it's going to hit you with a fly. And because you are Flame Orb Guts, you're already taking extra damage from your burn, and it's going to definitely be putting you in range for Fly to kill you.
True. Which is where Sableye comes in and just be able to quash them and then knock them out.
There you go.
So, I personally really like the Ice Punch here, specifically because we have Sableye.
Also, Dragapults are getting bulkier.
Mm-hmm. That's something you were talking about. You've been playing the Ghost Trio on Showdown, and you sent me a couple of replays, and it's just like you mentioned something about this Dragapult's not even that fast. It's like, so Dragon Dance is actually really important on it because I am invested in the bulk so I can live attacks.
Yep. So the cool lead now is like just follow me on Togekiss and then just Dragon Dance in front of people, and you get that attack boost plus that speed boost. Now you're just probably just about caught up to the Dragapults that are invested in max speed across from you, and then you just get to just like go off and set up and whatnot. But you get to take max Wormwinds really well. You get to tank any kind of actual like fairy type move that's coming into you really, really well. So the bulky Dragapult's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times when I'm just like, my go-to, as you all know, is Sylveon. It's just like, alright, I'm just going to click this Hyper Voice and it's going to do 1 billion damage to this Dragapult. I don't have to care about that. And there's definitely been times where Dragapult just lives and then turns around and beats me up. And I'm just like, oh, that was supposed to do way more. So that it really just solidifies that thought of Dragapult can do everything.
Yeah. I actually I was looking back at like old regional events like Malamore regionals and trying to find as much information on the Ghost Trio that I could. And when I found out that Dragapult managed to survive a max smite from G-Max Hatterene, I'm just like, oh, that's just insane.
That's really good.
How the heck do we manage that? And I just started doing all the math, trying to figure out like what the numbers have to be. They had 193 HP, so it's about 236 into HP. Okay. And then there's about 150 into attack, and then the rest goes into special defense. Just so you can just make sure you tank the hit, and they are not an attack boosting nature, they are careful.
Interesting.
So it's actually really cool just like looking at there's bulky Dragapult. Like that's what I did was just like the base math from what I got from I know how much IVs are, how much the EVs are in HP. Okay, now I just start looking at how much damage it did, and I start going and doing damage calcs and trying to figure out, okay, that damage falls in this percentage range, meaning that these numbers have to be somewhat close to what it's doing. Which, I've been doing that a lot more lately. I've just been like looking at old videos because a lot of the teams I want, nobody is sharing with me. Come on, people. It's not like there's a championship to go to or anything.
Whatever. And then rounding out this team is something near and dear to your heart. Let's talk about this Goodra. So what do you like about this Goodra, Carl?
So Goodra in general is bulky special defense with a fairly high special attack. So Assault Vest already boosts your very high special defense into even more, to where the point you don't have to actually put any kind of investment into it. And then that means you're opened up to put all stats into HP and defense and just become a very good wall. This means you carry weakness policy very well as well, outside of that. The things I'm not pleased about with Goodra is the fact that you have to play Sledge Bomb if you want to beat any kind of fairy that's not named Togekiss.
Mm-hmm.
Sledge Bomb just feels terrible. Max Ooze just feels terrible.
Well, Max Ooze is also a boosting move here, so like it allows you to hit a little harder if you need to, too.
The thing is like, if Gudra is your special attacker, you usually don't have your other special attacker next to it, so whatever is next to it isn't getting the buff. And that's what feels bad.
Yeah, that was something that came up a lot in Draft League when I was using Pangoro. I'm just like, I'm going to max Knuckle, but I'm sitting next to Sylveon, who doesn't really care about this boost at all.
No, man, you get your boost your quick attack.
You are correct, and that actually has come up where I was playing Kyle the other night, just playing around with that team, and he sends out Dragapult, and I'm just like, all right, well, let's see how much this quick attack does.
Whereas for Gudra, you need to have Togekiss or you need to have Rotom Wash next to it. Otherwise, that's just a wasted stat buff.
I agree. Wormwind drops
attack.
Okay. Again, man, these are so weird, and it's so new.
So
give it time. I'll eventually
get it figured
out.
My Gudra is what I normally do is I forgo the Dragon type move. For two reasons here. So the Dragon type, you're only hitting dragons with it. Like you're going to usually hit a Dragon type. It's stab, I know, but your special attack is so high anyway that stab bonus isn't really like necessary. Also, Follow Me Dragon Pulse is just like you kind of just stare at Togekiss in the face and you can't hit your Dragon type move next to it with the Dragon Pulse sitting next to it. You're just kind of just staring at the Dragon Pulse across the way, looking like an idiot. So I actually run Blizzard on mine because I also run Weakness Policy with Alolan Ninetales to proc my Weakness Policy if I need to. The other move I run is Power Whip. The cute thing about Sap Sipper is Sap Sipper boosts your attack instead of boosting special attack. So every time you get hit with a grass type move, Sap Sipper boosts your attack. So Power Whip actually deals more damage. This also means you have a decent way of dealing with Gastrodon, which this team kind of has a problem with.
Yeah, that was not only that, but like Max Overgrowth is also just like good recovery too.
Oh yeah,
which this team has actual 0 recovery on, minus the Drain Punch.
And granted, your grass type move you get is Power Whip, so it is a 130 Max Overgrowth. It is still good.
If you're doing that, would you still be modest?
You can still stay modest. You can do whatever you really want. There's builds where you just don't take the buff. You just take a neutral nature and you just run with it. You just be this mixed sweeper. Okay. Which those builds do exist. Now, granted, if you're going to do that, you don't put as much into your special attack as you do as this one is. It says it got 180, which is a little high for the special attack investment, but that's because they're not putting anything in speed or into special defense. Usually,
being vest means we don't need that the defense.
Usually, you still put some back into special defense just because.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Just because you are just a pure dragon type, so you kind of just take any kind of ice hits because Lapras is a thing.
Togekiss is a thing, having those fairy moves.
Like
Dragapult's a thing.
Weakness policy. Lapras is very popular right now, and G-Max Resonance can wreck you if you're not prepared for it. And Assault Vest plus just a little bit extra special defense bulk means you definitely survive that hit and get to return damage with Max Lightning.
Okay. That seems real solid.
Yeah. You could also put a little bit into speed, so you can actually just like outspeed Togekisses or outspeed Rotoms if you need to. You're all in that like 100 area speed tier, so every little point counts. It depends on how you really want to play with your Gudras. You can play slow and bulky, so you have something for Trick Room. You can play with something with just a little bit of speed investment, so you just like outspeed the Togekiss or outspeed the Rotom Wash. It's really cool. Gudra is actually really flexible for just a
Oh, agreed.
For just a pure dragon type.
It does a lot of interesting things here.
Outside of Gudra, I like the Rotom. This is probably like what I would want to do with Rotom Wash if I had to play Rotom Wash. I'm playing with support Rotom Wash on the Showdown, and I'm just... Volt Switch is cool. I'm just not as big a fan of it. I get to do like shenanigans, but...
The reason Volt Switch is cool there is because you're also pairing it with Parting Shot and Incineroar, so you're just able to constantly switch out and take hits and do what you need to with it.
Yeah.
Whereas here, just going... we're not max special attack here, but our special attacks are really high, and then we're putting a Life Orb on top of it, so like this Rotom's able to pick up KOs if need be.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is a primary attacker here. This team seems fairly aggressive when you actually look at it. Like 4 of our Mons are pure damage, and then like Togekiss can also just be massive damage when you need it to be too. So, I mean, it seems really aggressive, and I haven't played with it to be able to confirm that, but it seems that way.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty much done. I've talked out this team for the most part. I don't know if there's anything else I can talk about.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of nothing else here to say.
Sableye is pretty standard. Yeah.
Sableye has definitely picked up, like, I know early on when you first started playing, you recommended Sableye. I'm just like, man, Sableye kind of sucks. And
Sableye's great.
The more I've played with it and against it, it's just like, man, this thing is really annoying.
Right? That's your job. Your job is just to be annoying. You get Fake Out, you get Quash, you get Prankster Will-O-Wisp. You can foul play physical Dragapults and just Oko them. It's really, really good. Where are we going to go to next?
Rose Tower Quarantine Challenge?
Sure.
Alright, so this is, like you mentioned at the top of the show, this is a Rose Tower event held for coronavirus relief. It was a charity event where a portion of the proceeds went to, I'm assuming direct relief, but I could be wrong about that.
I'm not quite sure, but direct relief sounds about right.
If you know and you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment down below so we can actually figure things out, so we can all keep ourselves straight.
Please. Thank you.
Plus, they're good for the YouTube algorithm, and promoting our stuff is always great, so do that anyway.
Yeah.
Past that, let's talk about all 214 players.
I'm good. Let's talk about the top 16.
Alright, that's fine, I guess. So this was put out on Twitter and on Reddit and various other places that we're looking at this visual, so it is a little harder to read in all actuality compared to the last couple we've gotten from them, so definitely zoom it in to make sure I'm talking about the right Mons here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. First place team here, pretty interesting in all actuality. We have Togekiss, Incineroar, Rotom Wash, Excadrill, Dragapult, and Clefairy.
Clefairy? I love me some Clefairy.
Clefairy's sweet, man. Friendguard is a hell of a drug.
Right? It's just like, why set screens when you just have it?
Yeah.
You gotta waste time.
In reality, it's better than screens.
I don't actually know the damage calcs for screens. I don't know if Friendguard's 25% is quite the same as...
Oh, is it? I thought it was 75%.
You take... It's 25% less damage. But you take 75%.
I thought it was the other way around.
No. You take 25% less.
I believe screens are better than... I believe screens are half damage.
Okay. But Aurora Veil plus Friendguard is real nice.
For sure.
Set this thing next to a Lapras, G-Max it, and just let it do its thing, and Clefairy just kind of sits there and hits follow me all the time. That's what you want to be doing.
We did that very, very early on in Series 3. It's just like, man, this is hot. I can get down with everything going on here.
It's really cute. Is it good? But it's cute. It's cute for sure.
So let's talk about this. Anything glaring that you see here that you want to talk about?
I can start making a couple assumptions immediately. This extra drill is probably Focus Sash, Mold Breaker. To beat other Rotoms, this Dragapult is most likely just physical with Protect. Cineroar is most likely a support Incineroar, not really meant to actually deal a whole lot of damage, but more to just spread parting shots and intimidate around. The Togekiss is most likely just Dazzling Gleam as its only attack. Because Dragapult probably has Fly on it, so Togekiss doesn't need to Dynamax as often.
Okay. So are we still Super Luck at that point? Or
we're still Super Luck because we want the crits from Dazzling Gleam, but we are most likely Berry instead of Scope Lens, and we're probably running either Protect or Safeguard as our fourth move with Yawn and Follow Me.
Okay.
That's kind of been the trend on Togekisses for a while here, is they're dropping Air Slash, but still being the crit Togekiss. Which makes sense because Dazzling Gleam is spread damage. You get to spread. If you get 2 crits, that's a ton of damage. So, and then you just get to hit Protect or hit Safeguard so you don't go to sleep or get poisoned because Venusaur is popular and things like that. So, just thinking about things like that, it's like that's probably what the Togekiss is doing. This Clefairy is pretty much Friend Guard Follow Me when Togekiss is bad. Clefairy gets access to Moonblast, which is notable.
Okay.
You also get Gravity, which can be iffy with like what you needed to do. It helps. I
don't see any reason really to have Gravity here.
Gravity means you get to hit your opposing flying types with ground type attacks, but that's about the long and short of it.
It also makes your Rotom submissible to ground attacks too.
Well, everybody's running Mold Breaker anyway, so.
True.
So it's like, might as well just run Gravity anyway. But Clefairy also gets Helping Hand. I don't think it gets Heal Pulse. I think it gets Healing Wish.
It gets Life Dew.
It gets Life Dew. That one I'm not as big a fan of Life Dew as I am of just like Heal Pulse. But Life Dew's better than nothing.
That is... Yeah, I mean, Life Dew was something that I ran with Lapras because it not only gets the boost from Water Absorb, but also from Life Dew. So it's just like, yeah, we'll double up on this and get some.
We'll go all the way back up pretty much full. That's fine.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on this first place team?
No, the team's pretty standard at this point. You see it a lot. And usually those 5, and then Clefairy's slot is kind of whatever you feel like playing. Sometimes it's Conkeldurr, sometimes it's Anti-Trick Room user, sometimes it's like a Tyranitar. It just depends on the people, like what you want to play with.
Mm-hmm.
So the 5 is pretty standard, and then just Clefairy is just Clefairy.
Yeah, those 5 are all very, very popular mons. So
yes, for sure.
Not too surprised to see them here. Moving on to the other finalist here, we have a team that you've been working on something similar to this.
This is pretty much Wolfie-Glick's build of G-Max Colossal shenanigans.
Yeah, so this is Togekiss Colossal, Gastrodon, Conkeldurr, Dragapult, and Dusclops.
Yep.
So this is something you've been working on. I'm just gonna pass this right on over to you and let you talk.
Okay, I get to do this again. This is great. This is what I do. This is what I get for studying all these teams all the time. So this team it's really cool because Dragapult and Togekiss both on their faces just like, oh, that has to be the lead. That has to be the threat. But when you see this team actually start to perform, the best leads are usually Colossal Dragapult or Colossal Togekiss or Dusclops Togekiss. And Dragapult the Dragapult Togekiss lead is like unseen because this Dragapult actually only has one attacking move. Maybe two. So the Dragapult on this team is literally there to set up screens and serve for this Colossal and Gastrodon to power them up. Colossal having Steam Engine plus Weakness Policy gets a big speed boost, and then it's ×2 special attack or regular attack, depending on which Colossal you want to play with. It doesn't matter. The stats for attack and special attack are both the same. So whichever one you invest in is just whichever one you go with. Notably, Special gets Solar Beam, so you can answer opposing Gastrodons and other water and ground types, whereas the physical one gets Earthquake and High Horsepower. So you can max Quake to raise your special defense, so you can maybe survive a hit as G-Max. But it depends on which one you like. I'm having fun with physical, but I think special is just marginally better because you get to answer Gastrodon and all the other water and ground type Pokemon.
When I played with it, I always ran special.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember looking at its physical move pool and going, man, this is really, really powerful. Like, there is a lot going on here that's just real exceptional.
What's good for special is the fact that Max Vocalith's power is set. It's static. It will always be whatever number it is, no matter what the special rock type move you use.
I actually didn't know that.
That's what's cool about the G-Max moves. Most of the G-Max moves' damages are set. So what's cool is Ancient Power gets boosted to, I think it's 110 for Vocalith, which is insane because Ancient Power power is 60. So you just jump to 110.
Real powerful.
So that's whatever it is, and then you run Heat Wave as your fire type attack usually, and then Solar Beam and Protect. You could run Scald if you want to set Rain. I don't see why you would.
Yeah, I'm not about that, but
and then we have Gastrodon to protect us against other water type Pokemon. Also gets buffed from Dragapult Surf. We have Togekiss, Conkeldurr, and Dusclops as another little trio there. Togekiss is the Follow Me user to protect Dusclops so it can set up Trick Room, and Conkeldurr is the abuser. Notably, Colossal can also be an abuser if you somehow manage to hit Colossal with a fire type move, with a super effective move and not trigger Steam Engine, like Mach Punch from Conkeldurr.
Okay.
You can use Colossal under Trick Room and actually still do decent damage. Outside of that, it's pretty on its face once you see it play. You'll see Dragapult come out and hit screens and you'll be like, oh, I don't have to worry about hitting this thing so much. And most of the time people just focus the Colossal and just take it down.
Yeah, basically, hey, this is here, but I don't really need to focus at it.
Yeah. Extra Drill is a great counter to this team specifically because you survive most of Colossal's hits, unless they are geared to where, like, once in a while, Flame Max Fire can take out your Extra Drill if you are, like, Life Orb or something, but if you're Focus Sash, you will be able to just KO this Colossal no problem. My build is playing Venusaur over this Trick Room nonsense. I'm playing Venusaur and Incineroar, but that's just my build of it. I enjoy that build a little bit better.
Okay. I again, can understand what we're doing with it, so I can appreciate both.
Yep. They both have their uses. This one is definitely better in a slower metagame. You can play around and dodge attacks and just stall out opponents' Dynamax turns and then just set up Colossal and Sweep. You could definitely do that. That is always a plan. It's real clean when you can just, like, make sure you have Sand to survive a water type attack, or, like, throw Gastrodon out after having Colossal out and just swap them, and Gastrodon gets the buff and then just takes out whatever's across from it. There's so much play to this team that's just all these subtle switches, and it's really cool.
Yeah, that seems real
Yep. Moving on to top 4.
Sure.
Third place team, I'm assuming third place team here, is Togekiss, Arcanine, Gastrodon, Tyranitar, Grimmsnarl, and Durant. We're gonna hustle some people.
That's a big ant.
Yeah. So
That's a real big ant, man.
It's cool because we were playing Tyranitar and we get to just like throw it with Durant, and the Sandstream helps Durant. It also helps Gastrodon, which is really cool. Gastrodon's also kind of just like this anti-trick room mod because it's just like, here's this kind of abuser. Well, Tyranitar's also in the same vein of that, where it can kind of be an abuser as well. Anything else you want to touch on this team? This team's pretty stock.
Yeah, these mons are all pretty self-explanatory what they're doing, so I got a whole lot of nothing here.
Okay. Other top 4 team is Alchemy, Incineroar, Lapras, Toxtricity, Colossal, Dusclops.
I love Decorate. The biggest problem with Alchemy is there is so much follow me in this format.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise it would just be so insane.
Right? I'm actually interested in this Toxtricity on this team, trying to figure out what its actual role is.
I'm assuming it's just over here passing around statuses like it ain't no big deal.
It could be doing that. I've been seeing more and more, like you could decorate onto this Toxtricity and then just overdrive KO everything, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because you already are just like such a high special attack output damager anyway with Punk Rock that like Boom Burst Overdrive just deals so much damage anyway.
Yeah, that seems real powerful. That's going to do a lot.
Having a 4 types weakness to this Excadrill though kind of is middling. It's kind of
it's
like
real not great.
Yeah. Maybe it's got like Air Balloon.
I could see Balloon on this.
Yeah.
Air Balloon's not one that sees a whole lot of play. Historically, it's been something that like Heatran is notorious for running, just because it gets rid of that 4 times weakness to the ground. Yep. So it's kind of, I could see it being important here to be able to do the same thing, where it needs to be able to just dodge an attack if need be. And being able to predict a high horsepower going into that slot and just being able to get your free switch in is really critical.
Agreed.
Another thing that was like historically done with Air Balloon and Heatran is you would be able to switch in and then click Earthquake, which I don't think we're doing here. I doubt any of these mons are actually carrying Earthquake.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if any of them are.
But that's something like that has kind of fallen off the face of the earth in this generation. Is like Earthquake used to be insanely popular, and now I couldn't tell you the last time I actually saw it clicked or even played.
Well, we're probably going to get to a team here in a minute where I'm pretty sure Earthquake is played, but it's a little bit farther down the list. You want to lightning around the rest of these guys, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's just kind of. I'm gonna read some teams, and you're gonna tell me if there's anything you want to touch on. Okay. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. So coming out of the top 4 into top 8, we have Whimsicott, Chandelure, Primarina, Conkeldurr, Dracozolt, and Bisharp.
Dracozolt's really good here because Lapras is popular. Also, Dracozolt does really well into opposing Primarinas and can kind of deal with Rotom Wash if you can outspeed it.
Also, just deals with Togekiss too.
Like yeah, being able to just Bolt Beak Togekiss is really good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Dracozolt is slower than Togekiss.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. I wasn't 100% sure, but thanks to Whimsicott, we're going to be able to set up Tailwind and just make sure we're faster.
Exactly. You have to make sure you get your Tailwind up, and then you can just outco everything on the board.
Like, yeah, you can click Follow Me all day. I'm still setting up my Tailwind, and I'm going to outco something.
Yep, so, I'm hitting you anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. I think the combination of Whimsicott and Dracozolt here is really, really great. I think that's fantastic for what this team's doing.
Agreed.
Moving right along, we have Togekiss, Incineroar, Primarina, Excadrill, Gigalith, Dusclops.
Pretty standard minus the Gigalith. The Gigalith is just an alternative version of Tyranitar in this case.
It's Tyranitar that's better in Trick Room.
Yeah, it just does a better Trick Room impression. Primarina's good in a Trick Room. Excadrill is like the one Pokemon that doesn't like Trick Room. But if you're running
Togekiss can play in it, but it's not great there.
Yeah, like if you're running Excadrill, you're probably waiting till Trick Room's over anyway. So it's like whatever. Next team is Ferrothorn, Milotic, Tyranitar, Dragapult, Mimikyu, Dusclops.
Triple ghost, but not the ghost we wanted.
Right? That's a weird one, is because just like this Dusclops is like extra Trick Room, whatnot, but...
Well, in reality, this is hard Trick Room that has like support Dragapult here.
Yeah.
I can see this being hard Trick Room if need be.
Just a little awkward without the fire type to finish that core.
I agree.
I kind of want this Tyranitar to be Torkoal.
I was going to say Incineroar.
Either one's fine.
I personally like Incineroar more than Torkoal right now. I think Torkoal has kind of fallen off the face of the earth with the popularity of Dragapult is kind of made Venusaur just really unappealing, if you want my honest opinion.
You can still do stuff with Venusaur, but it is harder with Dragapult being just like, here's Max Airstream, Max Ghost, and Max Dragon, and Protect. Like, what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you send out Venusaur, I'm just gonna Max Fly into that. Or I'm just gonna hit Fly. I'm gonna hit follow me on my whatever, and I'm just gonna fly up, and you're not gonna be able to do anything.
And everything is going to be okay.
Yep. Last team in top 8. Mimikyu, Arcanine, Lapras, Tyranitar, Conkeldurr, and Dusclops.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of nothing here.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. There's Trick Room, plus Tyranitar, Lapras, plus Arcanine for as your Intimidate, because you have 2 Pokemon that are weak to fighting.
Next up, we have Meowstic, Rotom Wash, Excadrill, Dragapult, Sylveon, and Corviknight.
Meowstic Male is cute. You get Thunder Wave and Will-O-Wisp and all sorts of stuff.
I believe you also get Fake Out. Meowstic is actually really sweet. I know it's something I played with a couple different times in Draft League. Let me pull this up just so I can actually see its move pool again. So we have Thunder Wave, we have Nasty Plot, Light Screen, Fake Out, Calm Mind. So like you could honestly set up really well with Meowstic if you really wanted to, but in reality it's just not what you want to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it having access to Calm Mind and Nasty Plot is actually really awesome, especially with Prankster. But, like, in reality, it is just, because of Prankster is just way better as a support mon.
Mm-hmm.
So, usually you're going to see Fake Out, maybe some combination of Screens, some Thunder Wave. It doesn't get Will-O-Wisp.
Oh.
Which is why it's really important that it gets Thunder Wave. Yeah. Not only is that still speed control, but it's also priority. So...
outside of that,
I was going to say, anything else you want to touch on this?
Seeing Corviknight down here is a little pick me up, because like Corviknight supposedly like is really good into all these Intimidates and whatnot, and we're just not seeing it because the Intimidate users are all fire types.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like,
which is real unfortunate.
Like, here's this thing that's good against Intimidate, but things that carry Intimidate are going to beat you up because you're Steel type. So, Have fun with that.
Yep, unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles today, man.
Yep. Next game.
Next up, we got... Oh, if I can zoom back in. Togekiss, Colossal, Gastrodon, Conkeldurr, Dragapult, and Bronzong. So, the exact same 5, but our Trick Room setter is Bronzong compared to Dusclops.
Remember what I said when we get to that Earthquake team?
Mm-hmm.
This is Physical Colossal with Earthquake.
Okay. What has you convinced?
Levitate on your Trick Room user, plus you have Togekiss means you have easy swap-ins to dodge Earthquake if you need it. Also, Bronzong is just a little bit... It's not as bulky as Dusclops, but it has average, defenses, and you get Gyro Ball for opposing Togekisses. But mainly it's just because Bronzong is most likely Levitate to avoid getting hit by Excadrill because it's so popular. It just makes me think it's why would you not want to run Physical and run Earthquake to just get spread damage?
Yeah, I can appreciate that. You have a bunch of free switch-ins, so why not?
Also, with Bronzong sitting next to you, if you just keep spamming Max Quake, its special defense is going to go through the roof.
Uh-huh.
And then it's going to be able to tank that fire attack. Yeah, which just means
it's that much harder to kill, and
you can't get through it.
Yep.
Also, Gyro Ball can definitely OHKO a Togekiss.
Oh, for sure.
So that's just a good quality of life change for that team in general.
Anything else you want to touch on?
The rest of it's pretty much the same stuff. Support Dragapult with Surf. Gastrodon as attacker. Colossal as weakness policy Steam Engine. Conkeldur's Trick Room Abuser. Togekiss is most likely the Follow Me, Protect, Dazzling Gleam, Yawn user.
Okay. Moving right along, rounding out these top 16 teams of the year. Snorlax, Arcanine, Rotom Wash, Tyranitar, Dragapult, Mimikyu. What's the chances of the Snorlax exploding?
Probably very minimal.
Really?
With only 2 dragon types, 2 ghost types next to it, it's just, The Mimikyu Snorlax lead is cool. It's just, now that everyone's seen it enough that it's actually really easy to get through because you just Iron Head to Mimikyu. And then you're down Pokemon. I like the Rotom Wash, Arcanine, Tyranitar thing they got going on here, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a fan of Snorlax with the rest of it.
So, I was kind of talking to you about this earlier. I was looking on Pikalytics today, and Belly Drum Snorlax has kind of fallen off the face of the earth, and instead they're doing self-destruct things now, which is very, very similar to what was going on in Gold, Silver, Crystal back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But back then we had, Rest Talk, and or even back in, I guess it might have been Gen 1 too, where you just have this oh shit button and you need to be able to clear a threat, so you just hit self-destruct. So it's really cool to be able to see that kind of callback to something that old and that, iconic back in the day.
Yeah. Looking at the 12th place team here is Togekiss, Incineroar, Tyranitar, Conkeldurr, Dragapult, Dusclops. I feel like I've just said this team somewhere. Where did I... Probably something very similar.
I mean, yeah, a lot of these mons, are just real similar, so this was... we've seen a lot of all of these, so I don't think we've seen this exact variant, but we've seen every single one of these and then some. So
yeah, it's really close.
Mm-hmm.
Rounding up the top 16 here, there's a Corviknight, a Charizard, Gastrodon, Conkeldurr, Grimmsnarl, Dusclops. Thoughts, comments,
interesting.
Concerns? The Charizard's weird, right? I'm not crazy?
Yeah. I agree. It's definitely weird.
I'd much rather this be like an Arcanine or something. If I have to have a higher type of some sort, like Arcanine or Incineroar.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have like Arcanine here specifically. But like Incineroar, we don't have a weakness to fighting. So having Incineroar here and pairing it with Corviknight actually seems really powerful, just because Corviknight can check any of the Conkeldurs that are going around trying to beat up your Incineroars.
Yep.
Next up, rounding out the last of these teams, we have Corviknight, Arcanine, Gastrodon, Tyranitar, another Toxtricity, and some more Grimmsnarl too. So again, a lot of Mons that we've already seen, but not in this combination.
I like the Corviknight less on this team.
I think I agree.
I'm just kind of looking at it and just like, it answers Conkeldurr, but what do you pair with this like Corviknight to actually do something besides Arcanine?
I mean,
your lead is super telegraphed. Like, if you lead Grimmsnarl Corviknight, you don't have enough pressure to actually pressure anybody out of the field. Yeah. You kind of just sit there and just set screens or do like status stuff, but they just keep damaging you. You can't lead really with Toxtricity because it's just like, yes, you dodge the ground type attack, but you lose your damage. You can set Tailwind and then hope Toxtricity's faster.
Okay.
That's like the cutest thing you can do there, probably. You could do the same thing with Tyranitar, but I don't like that plan at all.
Yeah, I'm not down for that one.
So Corviknight's a little weird. I'm just in this one. If it was a different support mod, it'd be one thing, but it's just Corviknight's Tailwind, Roost, Brave Bird, bulk up maybe, which just doesn't seem very good in this team. Because you're already damaged. Like you have Gastrodon, which isn't the greatest damage. Yes, it absorbs water type attacks and can output some damage if it does so. But like on its face, it doesn't actually output damage like a bulky water type does.
Yeah.
Tyranitar is the same way. It's just like, here's this kind of physical attacker, but you need to make sure you have enough in defenses that you don't die.
I wonder if this is a more like physical variant of Arcanine compared to like a support variant.
That could be.
Just because we are lacking damage.
That could be.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I could get down with that.
Agreed.
Anything else you want to touch on this, man?
Nah.
Okay. Rounding this out. Just gonna probably pretty quickly fly through these last two. We have Meowstic, Incineroar, Lapras, Conkeldurr, Mimikyu, Dusclops.
Be spiffy. Let's go.
And then rounding out the top 16, we have Alchemy, Incineroar, Lapras, Conkeldurr, Sableye, and some Dusclops. So lots of Dusclops, lots of Dragapults, less Togekiss down here in the top 16 as opposed to the top 8.
Yeah. Also, 0 Venusaur.
0 Venusaur, 0 Torkoal, 1 Charizard. So, like, it just tells you, like, I honestly think there's too many Tyranitars and, like, other like, there's too many ways to affect the weather right now, making weather a harder sell to me to be able to play.
Yeah, a lot of your weathers that you're going to be messing with, you're going to be setting off G-Max moves now anyway. The weather setters themselves are kind of bad with everyone playing Tyranitar.
Yep.
Okay.
That is where I'm at.
Same. So now what?
That's a wonderful question.
We got this cool Series 4 rule set to go over, which is not a big thing, but it's a little change.
Yeah, we have a little bit here. I actually don't have the official announcement, but I'm assuming it just says, "Hey, May 1st, all G-Maxes are going to be legal."
That's pretty much the long and short of it. Starting May 1st, we get G-Max Machamp, G-Max Caparaja, G-Max Duraludon, G-Max Gengar, and G-Max Garbodor added to the full rotation of our G-Maxes, meaning every G-Max that is currently available on Sword and Shield will be available for VGC use. This runs until June 30th, when the DLC is supposed to be dropping, and Series 5 will start the new string of Pokemon DLC, hopefully. Barring any developmental stops because of COVID.
Yeah, so basically we're playing the waiting game until we get more information on the DLC, and now I can play with my Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know how viable it's going to be, but, you know,
what's the ability on it?
Hulk.
Is it No Guard or Guts?
Give me 2.5. I'm pretty sure it's Guts.
Guts is okay. No,
it's actually Steadfast.
Oh, so it's even worse.
Oh yeah, it's
so
real
it's
bad.
It's actually unplayable.
Thank goodness for ability capsules, man.
That doesn't work, bud.
Is that hit
That's
ability?
the HA.
Oh god!
You are
Why
stuck
do you just have to,
with that terrible Machamp. Congratulations, sir.
Oh, now I'm sad.
You should be.
Oh.
You should be very disappointed. Notably, I think No Guard Machamp is probably going to be fairly decent. It's similar to Conkeldurr, but does a different thing because it gets knockoff. You still get close combat. You can get Bullet Punch or Cross Poison for fairy coverage. You get a little bit more speed. You're at 55 instead of 45. And you're at 130 attack instead of 145.
Okay.
So you get a little bit more defenses, though, too. Your HP is very decent. Your special defense and defense are okay. They're not great, but they're better than some. Your attack is outstanding. So, and plus, you get Dynamic Punch. Confuse kind of sucks nowadays, but it still is like decent. And being able to just have a 100 power fighting type move that just confuses and you hit it every time is actually really good.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Now, granted, it runs the cost of everybody can hit you with everything, but that's why you have decent defenses for. The other one I see like impacting some play might be like Copper because it sets like a Stealth Rocks, but they're steel. With everybody swapping with like Incineroar and whatnot. I'm not sure if it works exactly like Stealth Rocks, and if like you're like have weak to it, like Togekiss.
I believe it's actual Stealth Rocks, it's
Stealth Rocks,
Lapras.
but Steel type, right?
I believe so. But
okay.
Just like Lapras is Aurora Veil, so I'm assuming that's how that works.
Okay, so notably, Togekiss switching into this will take extra damage.
Correct.
Any of your fairy types actually take extra damage from this thing. And with Incineroar doing a whole lot of swapping back and forth, having a Stealth Rock that actually deals damage is actually pretty decent. I know Ferrothorn is starting to see tick-ups in play, and I thought about doing that with Ferrothorn because Incineroar likes to come in and out all the time. Well, I'm just going to throw Stealth Rocks out, and there's not really a whole way for them to deal with it because no one's expecting Stealth Rocks. Outside of that, Gengar can do some cute shenanigans. G-Max Terror traps people for Perish Song teams, just whatever. Duraludon gets G-Max Depletion, which is the Dragon-type move, but it removes all your PP on that move that you just used, which is kind of meh. And
yeah, that's kind of middling.
And then Garbodor is Garbodor. We don't care about Garbodor.
Not particularly. Which makes me sad because I really want to... I have a shiny Trash Man, and I really want to use it.
You can use it. There's probably a use for it somewhere. I'm just not sure what it could be.
I actually don't even know what its attack does.
Trash Man. I can't remember. I know it's poison. What does the trash man do?
Are you looking it up so I don't have to?
Yep, I'm working on it. Garbodor. Trash man. It just poisons opponents.
Okay.
95 base damage.
That's not the worst.
Just to give you a reference, that's literally the same power as Sludge Wave.
It's not the worst.
If you're using Gunk Shot, it's actually a downgrade.
Oh.
Gunk Shot's 120.
Yeah. I know you're right, but oh.
As for abilities, you get, like, weak armor.
It also has Stench, but the problem is it's never going to outspeed anything.
Yeah.
Except in Trick Room.
What's its speed? Slow? No. 75?
Oh my lord, that thing's fast.
Get this thing out of here. This ain't doing no Trick Room things.
It's fast. It's a fast trash man.
Oh gosh, its HP is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's real not good, man.
Its defenses are decent. It's just HP is miserable.
Yeah, the fact that this has a G-Max is just real disappointing.
I'm off it.
I've been off it.
We're gonna move on to our draft now. Talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about our draft that happened. So we're recording Friday, so we stream. Well, Carl streamed his spreadsheet action last night.
Oh yeah,
on Thursday night on Twitch. I think it went way better than I anticipated.
A lot of people got a lot of good things, and that was cool.
And I honestly expected, with there being 16 of us, I expected it to go way longer than it actually did. Yeah,
we did roll call at about 7. Actually got started at about 7:15, 7:10, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. And went to about 9:30. So just over 2 hours for everyone to draft 10 Mons.
Yeah, not the worst.
I feel like 3 minutes per Pokemon was enough time for people to make informed decisions.
I agree. I think it was very, very well done. So, do you want to talk about teams? You want to talk about yours?
I was lucky and I got to draft Dragapult Colossal pretty much real close together. I also got to pick up Mimikyu to pair with my Dragapult if I need to do that. I also picked up Lucario because it's Lucario. I also have Surfetch as another fighting type, and I'm just going to crit everybody with it.
And I'm so mad, man. I really, really wanted it to go later. And then you started talking to Quentin about it, and I'm just like, no, please stop. Get out of my head. I want Surfetched.
Well, you could always trade me at the start of week 1.
You aren't wrong, and I have something you want.
Yeah, you took my Aegislash.
The problem is, I also want Aegislash.
I mean, I got Lucario. Lucario fills that steel type need you got going on. I'm surprised I got Lucario when I did. I got Lucario at about round 5.
Yeah, it actually went fairly later than I anticipated it going.
Maybe just people just sleeping on it. I know there's a couple people talking about it in the Discord a while back. They were talking about Dragapult Discord. Lucario leads the Discord there, and they were pretty up on top of that. They really, really liked it, and I was just like, I'll draft this Lucario. It's really late for this Lucario to be sitting here. But yeah, I also got all of the Ninetales, and I picked up Rotom Frost to pair with it.
How's that feel?
This is gonna be cute. I'm gonna do some real cute shenanigans with it because this is gonna be cute. I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna like it a lot. I also picked up Roserade really early,
which again I desperately debated it, and it ended up going past me. So I'm just like, well, all right. I guess we're not doing that today.
And then I picked up a couple water types that will help trigger Colossal's weakness policy if I need them. in the forms of Galarian Slowpoke and War Turtle. Notably, War Turtle was the water tax. I had to pay the water tax because I didn't have a water type Pokemon at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Having Aqua Jet plus Fake Out and Eviolite is just like War Turtle is really cool. And then Galarian Slowpoke does some cool things. It's got Heal Pulse. It's got Surf. It's got Trick Room. It was just like Galarian Slowpoke was just like, this is a neat pickup. No one's going to expect it. It's another Eviolite Pokemon I can just throw things on. We're going to go with that.
So, I got bullied real hard into taking Charmeleon. Before the draft started, we were joking around talking about Charmander, and then someone started doing calcs for Charmander and posting them. I'm just like, man, this is actually way better than I anticipated.
Get him.
And so, naturally, I wanted to, I already had Ninetales and Leafeon, so I have like this mild Sun team going anyway. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna agree. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna pick up this Charmeleon. And I am looking at it, and it is so bad.
Yep, it ain't no Charizard. That's for damn sure.
It doesn't get Solar Beam.
Nope. I know that
which I don't get. It doesn't get Solar Beam, and it doesn't get Air Slash, but it gets Wing Attack somehow.
How does it get Wing Attack?
I mean, it's on its page on Showdown.
Oh, you might not want to trust that then.
Probably
there's
not.
some weird things that Showdown has going on. Don't even try.
But the plus side to Charmeleon is with Eviolite, it's actually bulkier than Charizard.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The problem is like our attack is awful. Our attack is 64. Our special attack is 80, but we don't have the special attack moves. Like, we don't have the special moves to back up that special attack.
Yeah.
So, I'm currently working on physical Charmeleon with, like, Dragon Dance or Swords Dance. I haven't decided.
You gotta get that Dragon Dance speed up.
Dragon Dance is going to make us go real fast, and we're already not that much slower than Charizard.
Yeah.
Charizard's max speed is 167. Ours is 145.
Nice.
So, we're not that much slower.
No.
So the real question becomes, like, how do I fill in the rest of this? Do I want Fire Punch or Flare Blitz? Probably Flare Blitz.
Most likely.
And then, if I want a Dragon move, do I want Dragon Claw or Outrage or Dragon Tail? Probably Dragon Claw.
Tail.
Tail?
Yep. Force swaps.
Even though it's less damage than Claw.
Yep. You're already Dragon Dancing. Force swaps. Because trust me, if there's a water type sitting across from you, you would much rather have a Dragon Tail to hit it with than a Dragon Claw.
Well, if there's a water type across from me, I have Thunder Punch.
You still just, like, not all water types are hit by Thunder Punch, Captain.
I mean, most of them are.
A chunk of them are. You're also a Charmeleon.
You joke about this, but Charmeleon's staying on this team all season. I'm
you
not
can keep
dropping
the Charmeleon.
this thing.
I'm just trying to help you out and use it and abuse it. If you get that Lucario from me, Charmeleon gets beat up.
Does it?
It does.
It does. Interesting.
Just saying.
I actually didn't know that.
Well, now you did.
So looking over my roster real quick, besides Charmeleon,
and Ninetales and Leafeon.
I was first overall. I ended up getting Togekiss. My next two picks were Snorlax, Dracovish. So we have kind of a callback to Series 1 with Togekiss, Snorlax being really popular. And Dracovish being, like, good. So, like, we have that kind of core going.
Yeah.
Picked up Aegislash to have a little bit of resistance for Togekiss. And just, like, overall good resistances and another stable attacker. Scrafty, so we have some fake out support and like a counter to Trick Room. Picked up Decidui, and I'm not 100% sold on Decidui yet. Okay, I know you worked on it a little bit, and so I'm going to talk to you quite a lot about it actually, but not sure what I want to do with that one.
Cute things you can do with Decidui. Soul Shackle can trap people in place, and then you swap out, and they are still stuck.
Okay.
So you can lock people in if you have things like poison, like Toxic, just to kill people. If you want to stall, just try and stall them out. Perish Song, I don't know if anybody on your team gets Perish Song.
I don't believe so.
Also, Decidui, being one of the starters, gets Grass Pledge, and you can teach Charmeleon Fire Pledge, and you can light the whole world on fire.
Oh, that's actually interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
I specifically was looking for another grass starter. I thought about picking up Ivysaur to pair with War Turtle to specifically do that nonsense.
That one sets up Swamp, I believe.
Yeah, which speed is lowered by 75%. Opponent's speeds are dropped by 75%. All the ones that are grounded, of course. Because that's how all those terrains work.
Oh, what did I do?
I don't know.
I hit a button and Charmeleon went away.
Bye, Charmeleon.
Alright, let's... rounding out the rest of this. Picked up Jellicent because I had to pay the water tax. Had to... Especially, like, with the next 3 picks, Jellicent is really, really important.
You also had to pay the Trick Room tax because you hadn't done that yet either.
Well, kind of, sort of with Scrafty. Like, Scrafty is a good answer to Trick Room, but Jellicent is also a counter to Trick Room. So, plus between Scrafty and Snorlax, like, I feel like I'm okay. Like,
it's just good to have a Pokemon that knows Trick Room.
True.
Trust me.
And then the last 3 were Ninetales, Leafeon, Charmeleon. So, we haven't officially set week 1 schedule yet, but I'm pretty sure if you want me to give me just a second, I'll screen share with you what I've been kind of working on the last day or so. Damn it, wrong button.
Wrong button.
I went to go hit Discord and say open trading card online.
Good job.
Where's screen share? So this is kind of where I'm leading off with. So we have Togekiss and Snorlax, and then we have Leafeon, Ninetales, Charmeleon. Probably gonna round this out with Jellicent. Jellicent would be a good answer just because, like, we need some water resistance here.
Yep.
I could also see not bringing Leafeon or not bringing like Charmeleon specifically, and just like dropping, like having these 4 and having like Jellicent and Aegislash in the last 2 slots.
That seems fine. Yeah, you wouldn't want to bring Sun along with your Aegislash because that's just like asking for trouble.
Yeah. You'd also have Scrafty in here too.
However, if you don't bring Sun, you could always just bring Scrafty and Jellicent.
Mm-hmm.
And just leave Charmeleon and like Ninetales at home. Leafeon's still fine without Sun. It's good. It's better with Sun.
Agreed.
But notably, you can teach Togekiss Max Flare if you have to do that, and you can set your own Sun for Leafeon.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. It already has Heat Wave on it.
Okay. So that's the other thing you can do is you can just set up your own Sun with Togekiss, which is a much better way, in my opinion, than trying to do it with Ninetales. I'm sad I didn't get Goodra. Goodra got picked out from underneath me before I got to. I was able to get to it. I think Goodra went round. Goodra went, I think, round 2 or round 3. It
went fairly early. I will admit that.
Yep. It was coming up on my pick, and Goodra got taken, so it had to be round 3, round 2 or round 4 when it got grabbed. because I had just grabbed a Ninetales and was expecting Gudra to at least make it back up to me, and it didn't make it back to me. So, I'm sad I didn't get Gudra. I did manage to get my Colossal Dragapult combo, though, so I can play that if I want to. I have Dragapult Lucario leads for beat-up justified nonsense. I have Mimikyu Dragapult leads for Wake's Policy if I want to do that. My team's very flexible, and there's a lot of things I can do, and I haven't quite figured out what I want to do yet. Notably, it's going to be Dragapult, and it's going to be probably, there'll be a Colossal. If I'm running, I can run Beat Up on Dragapult and bring Lucario, and just run Support Dragapult with Surf and Beat Up. I can also bring War Turtle, so I have Fake Out. I can bring Roserade for Sleep. And then there's the team that just, drops Dragapult Colossal combo and just brings Dragapult and, Lucario, and then Alolan Ninetales, Rotom Frost, and then I can just bring Roserade and Mimikyu and round out the team that way. So, there's a lot of things I can do. This team's pretty open-ended. Once you get, the trio, your core down, it's just grab a bottom, shove it in there, and get your support going.
So, what do you think, man? How satisfied are you with everything going on?
I'm pretty happy. I'm real happy I got the draft going. Discord is popping. Last week's episode got a bunch of people in here for Draft League. Oh my goodness.
I'm very, very excited about.
I think we were at maybe 8 people, counting myself, before last week's episode, and then it almost doubled.
Yeah, we ended up having 15 in the league, which is kind of an odd number because it puts us one short of 16, which would be ideal.
Yeah.
But in reality, imagine if 10 more Mons were taken off. We're already getting to the point where it's man, we're real low on playables.
Oh yeah, we were real low. We were fighting for everything we could get.
Looking at Pikalytics results here, which is what we basically use to set up the rosters. The first empty spot is at 53, which is Bronzong.
Yeah.
So, the first 50 Mons, the 50 most played Mons are all taken. And then the next gap is at 64, which is Gourgeist. So, quite a few that are just we're looking at Mons like Araquanid and Excavalier that could actually have a spot and could actually be playable.
Oh yeah, they are. Both of those Pokemon are very fringe playable in Trick Room. That's what I don't think anybody drafted hard Trick Room outside of grabbing Rhyperior and Snorlax.
I don't think there is a solid Trick Room team at all, like you said. There's this Rain team that is very, very solid Rain, but once you deal with Pelipper, Rain's not an issue, so I'm not overly worried about that. You just have a list of solid Mons. There's really no, hey, look at this. This is the strategy I'm taking. I know, who was it? Someone ended up getting Tyranitar Excadrill back to back.
Beans.
Yep, Beans got Excadrill Tyranitar and actually took Excadrill and then on the way on the wheel back got Tyranitar.
Yeah.
He's just okay, y'all are gonna let me have it. I'm gonna do it. So
notably, last pick got pretty good Sun, almost immediately.
Yeah,
stole Charizard, Venusaur, and then went Primarina, Duraludon, just kind of round out its core.
Mm-hmm.
It got the premier swamp team there with Venusaur, Primarina. Then Torkoal, Serena, Umbreon, Indeedee, Toxicroak, and Golurk. Just insane. The power level falls off kind of quickly after Serena, but there is a solid Sun team sitting right there in the first 6 picks.
Mm-hmm.
And he got Indeedee Mail for his Trick Room, notably. Lapras fell pretty far this time compared to last draft.
Granted, Lapras went first overall in my last draft.
Yeah.
But it was also at the start of Series 3 where people were hyping it up really badly.
Yeah.
So it was anticipated to be really good, and then it's playable. It's not the end-all, be-all like people anticipated it being.
Yeah. It's real hard to actually win with just Lapras. You take out the support around it, and Lapras kind of just sits there and just looks there for a minute. And then hits Hydro Pump or a Perish Song and hope that it gets there.
Yep.
They do have a Perish Song trap, though, with Sandaconda and Gothitelle and Lapras. So that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's another team that they drafted. They tried to draft Trick Room. They've got Indeedee, they've got Dusclops, they've got Rhyperior. And then they kind of went off and got Hawlucha, Sneasel, Morpeko, Slurpuff, Drampa, and they drafted Grimmsnarl number 1 overall. And it's just kind of this, like, weird amalgamation of, like, here's trying to be Trick Room. Oh, everyone started taking Trick Room stuff. So now what do I do?
Oh, yeah, that was one of the running jokes. It's just like, all right, here's the, 14th Trick Room mon this game. So, everyone has an answer to Trick Room.
Yeah. Looking through some of the other teams that people have updated. I don't know if anybody else has updated anything.
There's quite a few pages that are still empty. Should probably ping everybody, be like, hey, go fill in your pages, please.
Oh, here's the team that got Gudra. They drafted Durant Butterfree like right off the bat.
Which is something that you and I worked on pretty heavily back at for Collinsville.
Yeah. They got their Trick Room Tax and Reniculus. They grabbed Weavile. Notably, Weavile can proc a Gudra weakest policy still.
Yep.
They grabbed Galarian Weezing, which turns off other people's abilities, which that's super cool.
One more time, you cut out on me.
They drafted the Galarian Weezing, which turns off everyone's abilities.
I heard everything but what it cut off.
It doesn't matter. I'll have it in edit.
All right, whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything went, and past that, like we still have like playable mons that can be picked up on free agency too. So
yeah, that was my other worry, was we're going to get all these mons drafted, but there's not going to be anything left to pick up. Well, no, there's actually still a lot. Frostmoth is still available. I know that's actually like decent. Runarigus is still available. Vileplume is still available. Hippowdon is still available.
I seriously debated taking Vileplume over Leafeon.
Yeah.
I seriously debated it, and I ended up talking myself out of it.
I know Steelix there's a weakness policy Steelix running around on ladder somewhere that's actually putting up decent results. Golisopod is another one that's like, it's that water bug typing, and it's real hard to deal with. Unfortunately, Emergency X kind of sucks.
There has to be a downside, man.
Yep. Crawdaunt, still in the game.
Yep. I almost took Octillery, too, as, like, my water counter. Just because, like, Moody is a really, really good ability.
Yep. If it goes your way.
That's the thing, is how much do you want to gamble?
I thought about taking Doublade when Agaslash got taken, and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with No Guard.
I almost took Stonejourner, too. Just because, like, having Stonejourner and then having, like, Banded Snorlax sounds really good together. Just being able to punch really hard.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's a lot going on here. This is like, well, these are really good. These mons are really playable still, so, we have stuff that's being able to be picked up, so.
Yep.
And, like, I almost took Cheerum after I got Ninetales. So, I have a Minor Sun team, and so, I started filling in the slots around it. Torkoal went real late.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one that, like, we talked about multiple times. It's like, man, it sat there forever.
Now, granted, Ninetales went just as late, so when Torgor got taken, they were both still available. So, but super excited to play this draft. We'll probably have match notes here in a little bit, somewhere posted on Twitter or somewhere.
Yeah, probably we'll have round 1 pairings posted probably tonight as of recording. So, anything you want to touch on outside of Pokemon?
No. This is pretty much all I've been doing here lately is playing Pokemon. I've been streaming on Twitch all the time. Finally, I'm going to be able to apply for affiliate because our community is great.
Our community is great, and I cannot express that enough, man. They have come in and just helped each other out on so many different aspects. Like Pokemon is like obviously our mainstay, but even just having like people to talk to throughout the day is just like awesome. Being able to have a community where you can just openly talk to people about stuff outside of a game is great.
Agreed. I know there's like me, I'm stuck at home 4 days out of the week. Granted, my days that I work are super duper long, but I'm at home the other 4, and there's usually no one here to talk to. So if I didn't have the Discord to go talk to, I'd probably go crazy.
Yep. So, it's been really great to just see how much it has grown over the last month,
Yeah.
And I really can't express how grateful I am to be part of such a great community, man. Agreed. And to grow our own community in there. So, I think I got a whole lot of nothing.
I was about to say, mushy stuff aside, let's get out of here.
Okay. I got nothing to talk about today, so I'm gonna wrap this up and call it a day and talk to y'all next week, I guess. So, as always, you can find us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at Cardinoble25, and Carl at musical_33. You can also find us on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button if you like what you hear. Go ahead and comment down below with what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see us do. And go ahead and hit that bell. Go ahead and hit that sub button and that bell to get notifications when new videos go live. Podcasts are always uploaded on Mondays, and especially moving forward, we're going to have draft content going up throughout the week, most likely. Yeah. Basically, whenever Carl gets them edited and posted.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot for trying to get as many as I can, but if I can't get them because people can't record them, it might be a little bit hard.
Well, I know for sure that you have mine and yours. Quentin has a possibility to capture his, and then I'm not sure past that who is able to actually capture.
Tofu in the Discord mentioned he's able to hook it up to his PlayStation and capture the game recording through that.
Okay.
I'm not sure about anybody else beyond that. I was looking into trying to figure out how to do LAN spectate, but I don't know how to do that at all. That would be ideal, honestly.
Yeah.
I wish they would have a spectator mode for us, but it's the size of the files would be huge because the models, like everything in the game, is like everything in file size increased in size because it's 3D models, and rendering 3D models takes more data.
Yep, is laboring. So, let's see. We talked about YouTube. We talked about Twitter. You can find Carl and I both on Twitch as well. Carl streams a little more regularly than I do, so if you haven't done so already, go ahead and go follow him. Go ahead and follow me as well. Carl is at Musical, myself at Mr. Missouri 25.
We play bingo. We play ladder.
We played bingo earlier this week. And that's probably going to be something regular I would like to do moving forward. Just like one of my days off, just stream a couple hours with you at night.
Play bingo.
Yeah, it's great.
We could just do like bingo races and post them on YouTube or something weird.
Kyle is wanting me to stream Pokemon trading card game online. I'm like, that's a really niche market that already, like, it doesn't really exist, unfortunately.
No. I'm going to learn to play Pokemon trading card game online. I'm going to learn it.
Trading card game's great, man. Especially when it's, online and free.
Right? If it's free and it's not my account, I don't care. That's what inhibits me to playing these online card games is I don't want to spend the money.
Let's see, what else are we missing? Discord. If you haven't already, our Discord is down in the show notes. Make sure you go ahead and join that. Our community is fantastic. Can't thank them enough for being here week in and week out. It's where we get all of our Team of the Week submissions and, where we organize Draft League and various other events too. So, we have an email that's always on the show notes. So questions, comments, concerns can be sent there as well. Past that, I think I'm done rambling.
Sounds good.
Okay. Anything you want to hit on the way out?
Stay safe. Stay dry.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Be good people.
Yeah, we'll be back next week, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.